manual. All right, here we go. Okay, so we showed everybody an ink blot, right? And you say you saw what you see in the ink blot, and the idea here is you only bring to the ink blot only coming from your own knowledge and experience. If you never saw a duck-billed platypus in the ink blot, you'd never be able to say it's a duck-billed platypus. Okay? And the idea here is really every single thing in all of our experience is nothing more than an ink blot. We are all bringing to the situations only coming from our own knowledge and experience. Now, everybody would agree our own knowledge and experiences is limited, right? It is only limited to whatever we know and whatever we've been educated, as far as whatever we were taught and anything like that. Okay? So really, the idea here is really the ink blot is really reflecting back to us something that is in ourselves. We are bringing to this ink blot, we bring to the situation only coming from our own experience. Let me go from the flip side, right? If I, my daughter, she's an angel, she's a princess, and, everybody just thinks she's really cute, but I know that some people in the world think she's a spoiled brat, okay? So I think she's cutesy, and somebody else is a spoiled brat. So the idea here, interestingly enough, is where are my feelings coming from, and where is that person who has feelings towards my daughter as a spoiled brat coming from, right? In other words, not everybody experiences everything the exact same way. Not everybody experiences my kids the same way. Everybody experiences every single thing in all of creation. Nobody experiences it exactly the same way. So there you have to ask, where do the feelings, where does my experience come from? Okay? So obviously, the first thing is, it doesn't come from that child, the boy, or the angry boss, or whatever it is, okay? Or the annoying person. Because not everybody feels the same way about that person that you do. Even though, let's say, there are 10 people in the office agree, no, he's a, or whatever it is, okay? So, but not everybody has the same emotional response, the same level, let's say, of negative emotions or positive emotions. Not everybody is experiencing everything in the same way. Okay? It's all relative. And it's all coming from our own experience. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay? So it's a huge thing. This is a huge thing if we would go the next step. The Baal Shem Tov we mentioned last week, that a perfectly pure person never sees a flaw in anybody. If you are perfectly pure, you'd walk down the street and just see everybody so holy. Everything. You'd be just blown away. And we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay? On the flip side, if you see flaws in people, okay, what are they? Really, they're in a different form or a different degree. You have those flaws. All of reality is a mirror reflecting. It's perfectly orchestrated from God that this person should be in your life, and you should have this experience with that person to reflect back to you something in yourself that needs to change. Until you've changed it in yourself, you will constantly, even if you leave the job, you'll find somebody else who does the exact same thing in your face and drives you crazy. You leave that relationship, you'll find another relationship who does almost the exact same thing, and it drives you crazy. Okay? You will somehow seek out and find, actually God will bring it to you, what it is you need to change, what it is you need to fix it in yourself. When you go to the mirror in the morning and you see some blemish on your face, you don't start chiseling out the mirror. You fix your face, okay? Then you chisel the mirror, okay? But first you fix yourself, and the Baal Shem Tov goes as far as to say that once you fix it inside yourself, you will not see it, or you will not have the same experience with that person anymore. It will be a completely changed experience. Now, you might have doubts, so I have to tell you, you have to go try it out, okay? And I told you a story last week of a student of mine, and she was adamantly against it, and then she's riding with her mom in the car, complaining about her friend, and then what happens? Her mom says, well, that's you, sweetheart. You're exactly that, right? And boom, it hit her, she understood, and she then agreed. It's a big, huge rule. Why is this rule so big? If you're grasping, if you have even a critical mass of people who would grasp this, right? This would be the redemption. Why? It's really quite simple. Because, first of all, sinat chinam is gone. Why is sinat chinam gone? Baseless hatred. Why wouldn't we have any cause for baseless hatred anymore? You wouldn't, because if you would see somebody and something would irk you about that person, so you'd know, okay, it's something in me. And then maybe you'd go to a sponsor or a friend or a rabbi and try to see where it is in me that I need to change. And therefore you won't do what's called the blame game, or the finger of truth, where one finger is facing one way and three are facing towards me. Yeah, right? Sinas chinam is gone. Lashon hara is gone. Because if you're in a group of women, and all of a sudden one of the women starts talking about, God, this woman, she is so obnoxious. Every time I say and so you start talking bad about somebody, and if everybody in here knows the rule, if you know the rule, so then the only thing to say in response to that woman is, wow, thank you for sharing so much about yourself. Because really the person is describing themselves. Lashon hara is gone. Because everybody knows that you're not talking about that person. You're talking about something in yourself. It's gone. Boom. Okay, end of story. If everybody really knew this and grasped it, okay? But this has been out for hundreds of years. This is what the weird thing is. The Baal Shem Tov came out with this. Psychologists have this, but yet it hasn't really sunk in, right? Magellan has sailed around the world. He said the world is round, and yet we still haven't bought it. The fact that the world is round, okay? It's like that. Reality is not what we think it is, okay? It is definitely much different.